Hey, good morning. Check it out. We have a monarch caterpillar, and I showed you some of these a few videos ago, but I am going to show you a couple others today because there is so much happening. It's this beautiful, beautiful full summer morning, and this guy I just saw as I was out here in the plant nursery who made the J shape is going to make chrysalis right here on our persimmon and pawpaw air prune bed. I showed you earlier this season when we had more monarchs in here, and it's just been insane how many are coming out of here. We're not doing any raising. All we do is raise milkweed and let it grow everywhere that it can. And you can see, I think I can get this. Yep, there we go. So that is a chrysalis. That butterfly just came out of here today. And then, let me turn you around. We still have tons of caterpillars here. And really, look at these plants. This is how we want our plants to look, right? Because that means they're being used. So everything in this world is in relationship with one another. And it is one of the most beautiful parts of life, I think. And so recognizing that this plant is so needed and so important by these monarchs is awesome. And there's also, let me see, there were some, yeah, here we go, milkweed leaf beetles, and they're on there. And so plants shouldn't always look perfect, otherwise we got a thing going on. Check this out. Yep, another one. And there was some other one roaming around here just a minute ago. Oh look, I bet I can get you up there. Everywhere, friends. And how do we have them everywhere? Yep, you know it, plants. Okay, I'm gonna go take you and show you a couple other things here. So I'm gonna pause the video and I'll start you back up in a moment. All right, here I am on the north side of our orchard, which is a lower zone. And we thought when we first moved here that we were gonna put a high tunnel here and grow all sorts of things. And for many different reasons, we did not do that. But we had smothered this zone with a bunch of big sheets of plastic. And then when we decided that we weren't going to do that, we just let plants start growing up. So this is one of those zones where we haven't done anything other than that initial smothering. And it wasn't the whole zone that was smothered, just some parts of it. And you can see that right now there is a lot of asters, there's ironweed, there's goldenrods, and this incredible patch of lobelia. Do you see that? So let me walk over here. We've had a couple requests for how are we doing some of this stuff, and we're really experimenting with a lot of different methods because some have worked for us and others require way too much effort, so we're just wanting to see what happens. So look at this. I mean, there are probably at least 50 plants of great blue lobelia that came up on its own, and it loves this zone. So there's jewelweed here too, the lobelia, some tick-seed sunflowers, vervain. Now we can see here, this is swamp milkweed. I did stick this one in last year, but it's quite clear to us now that there is a wet zone in here, and we already knew it. It also frosts early and late because it's low. So we are going to be sticking in a ton more plants this fall that like these kind of growing environments. Now you can see all this grass right here. That's European grass. It's not one that you go, woohoo, yay, this is awesome. This is not, this is a sedge. But you're not going, oh, I want this. But that's just what's here. So we're seeing how we can use aggressive natives and just have it fill in over time. We did stick this elderberry in because they like wet zones. But look at this. This is swamp aster, bristly aster. And we have that growing near here, and so it's seeded into here. Now you can see we have some bindweeds. There are some natives, so you got to be careful about bindweed. But we also have this non-native one that we pull occasionally. And let me step you back one more time before I keep on. You can see quite clearly old planting zone and new planting zone. So we keep making our paths bigger and smaller, and our planting zones bigger, because we really want to spend most of our time immersed in this beautiful, beautiful planet of relationships. And so this is one where we will keep doing the same thing, plugging in natives, okay? And then I will keep you posted on how it's going. But right now, all of these that I stuck in last year are doing fine. So we've got purple giant hyssop and beard tongue, and I put these on a really wide spacing. I'll probably come in here this fall and just put a bunch more in right into the grass. I've done a video on that before, pulling it apart, digging it in, and then letting it go. So I won't put wimpy plants in there, but any that are aggressive, definitely. Now look at that. That's giant ragweed. And yes, this is the one that many of us are allergic to. If you ever look at their pollen granules under a microscope, it's pretty fantastically barbed. You can see why it would irritate your nostrils. And I'm allergic to it a bit, but giant ragweed is a native, so it's common. They are wind pollinated, which is why it tends to bother a lot of us. But check this out. I learned, after pulling it for a really long time, that it is super important food source for birds. Yes. And so just because it doesn't meet my requirements in every single way doesn't mean that it doesn't have a role. See, it has a very important relationship. Wow, this stuff is fascinating. Okay, let me show you 2 more relationships. And then I promise those of you that have asked how we're doing this, I'll keep integrating a little bit of that here and there. Okay. Here we go. We are out on our nature trail. Out here, I am taking you to see someone special. And I thought I wouldn't take you the whole way, but then some of you have told me to show you a little bit more. So that's what I'm doing. Out here, I will tell you as I'm going that we did plug plants in here and there. Things like white oak and swamp white oak and shingle oak. But a lot of this stuff, these native old field species, which I've talked about before, silky dogwood and roughleaf, blackberry, they've all come in on their own. This all used to be mowed when we moved here, and all we did was stop mowing. And then now we rotationally mow certain areas that we want to keep open, and we do that about every 3 years for certain areas, and we never do more than 1/3 of a habitat type at a time because of the mortality. This is the oak tree that I'm also going to post a video on. And we generally do this mowing in February, about January, February, whenever the ground freezes and Steve can get out here. We just use our regular mower, but we're killing all of the overwintering insects at that time, but causing less damage than we would at other times. Beautiful lake sedge. Steve stuck that in. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. And so I think that my whole point with this video is just remember the relationships. It's where the awesomeness is, it's where the joy is, and it's where all decisions about habitat management should be based. You have to weigh pros and cons. And sometimes people get so enamored with plants, they forget that the plants support other life, and that your plant decisions affect way more than just the plants themselves. Now, can I remember what I want to show you, where it was? These cedars, superstars. They're here on their own. Okay, it was here. Are you still here? Yes. Okay, this right here is one of the zones we plugged in. So you can see we have a cut plant out here and American plum. We've plugged a lot of American plum in. It's a native. It's Prunus americana. We only got one fruit this year. We had some odd spring weather, so we didn't get many flowers, but let me tell you, that plum was so delicious, and we can't wait till we have enough for us and the wildlife. So this plant is in the Rosaceae family. Now do you see who I came out here to see? Come on, little phone, you can do it. Oh, there we go. I know you see that now. Okay, so this is a moth caterpillar with pink feet. And oh my, cool. This is spotted apatoloides. And I often see them, and those pink feet, I mean, they're just kind of dead giveaways. So they love this family of plants. They eat a lot of different ones, but look at those little red feet. Oh, my phone is saying, yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's one more I'm going to show you in relationship with a plant. I could do this all day long, but I'm already at 11 minutes. Some of you said this is what you wanted, so I'm going to do it once and we'll see. What joy, though. I mean, how cool. The spotted apatoloides moth said, this plant that you planted here, girl and guy, I'm so grateful for, because I can lay my eggs on here, and that's exactly what I need so I can keep my life cycle going. And what joy we get from seeing these beautiful, beautiful beings. Oh, so exciting. So I'm taking you to what I want to show you next, but look at what happened while I was out on the trail. Yes, yes, yes. The chrysalis. Holy cow, this stuff is freaking amazing. And look, right here. Look at that. That's the shed skin, the last skin of the caterpillar. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, last stop for today's video. This is over behind the house. Some of the plants are really struggling because of the drought, but some of them are still doing great, and many are still hosting all the life forms. Now you can see this is a young tulip poplar, struggling a bit because of the drought, but look who's here and doing great. Yep, tiger swallowtail. And this is one of the later instars that starts to look like the snake. So cool. So Steve found this one the other day when he was still in the bird dropping stage, and we've just been watching. And y'all, it fills our hearts up, these daily tours. And it all started because we just love this planet so much. And so we go out and we hike and we explore in these beautiful areas. And then you go, I don't want just a boring old lawn around my house. I want to have this wildness all around me everywhere. And so that's why we're doing what we're doing. I know it's why you're doing what you're doing. And it provides endless joy. I've never felt so happy in my life seeing life return to an area that was so roughly treated. And doesn't all this life deserve a chance to live too? Just like us? Most certainly.